Well, hello there, Mark Hopkins. I am the host of Ask Dr. Bitcoin. I host the Merge Roundtable here on the Merge and do a bunch of stuff. Today, I thought we were going to try a little something different. We have been playing with ChatGPT quite a bit in the office and applying it for various productivity tasks. But something came out that you might have seen in the last couple of days. The Epstein papers. It's the first of several documents that have been released by the courts that show some of the testimony and some of the discovery from the Jeffrey Epstein case. Of course, if you've lived under a rock and you don't know what I'm talking about, Jeffrey Epstein is a New York financier who is perhaps better well known for running an island of debauchery that involved pedophilia and many highly placed, wealthy world leaders and captains of industry that partook of him and his services. So that's what the document is that we're going to be analyzing today. It is notoriously large. There's a lot of allegations and information, and a lot of journalists have kind of summarized bits and pieces of it here, but I felt like, this is one of the things that ChatGPT has a real potential to shine on, maybe help us find some new insights out of it. We're just going to try to use ChatGPT-4 to analyze this document, see if we can come up with something interesting, live stream it. This could be a total bust, or it could be pretty interesting. You're going to go on that journey with me if you're watching. So I guess we'll roll the intro and see what we can do. So, I got it on the, actually, let me mirror my screen. So it's you can see it as opposed to me having to push it over. I forgot to do that before we went on the air. Let's see, settings.
I think I can do this all for you and save us a lot of time. I think Alan Dershowitz.
Okay.
That's all we're going to get.
Alan Dershowitz is all we're getting.
I think he's in there. We can search it or ask. We should query chat, but I'm guessing over 100 times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't even, you could obviously, just go into the document. Here it is right here. I grabbed this off of the UK Guardian website, but a lot of places have it. But I mean, obviously you could just type in, hit. Yeah. So Dershowitz shows up 137 times. Yeah. You don't need AI for that. We do know that we suspected that Dershowitz was going to be in there. I think we suspected that Trump was going to be mentioned. He is in the documents 4 times, but, and this has already been in the news. He is not accused of anything untoward. You can see in some of this deposition here that he was not massaged, at least by this particular witness. But I mean, obviously, we're not going to know everything that's a name. I mean, if you know a name and you're looking for it, you can kind of search through it that way and figure out if someone is in there. But how do you find everybody without reading 943 pages? How are you going to figure out everybody that's in here that's worth knowing about? So first step is you're going to need ChatGPT-4. ChatGPT-4 has this thing called analysis mode, which if you have not used it before, it is really great. You have to turn it on in your beta features section here. Actually, do you anymore? I think
no, it's built in.
Built in, yeah. You used to have to turn it on. I guess now it does it all on its own. So, but you'll see this little paper clip down there by where you type when you're in ChatGPT-4. We're just going to upload the document. It will take a minute. It's a 25 megabyte file. While it's doing that, I suspect that a lot of the stuff that we're going to do today is probably going to require more compute space than it will be able to do on its own. And it's going to suggest that we run some of this stuff in our own compute environment. So I am going to load up my dev server here. So a lot of what ChatGPT ends up doing is creating Python scripts and then running it in its own little environment. It's still loading up that PDF. So if it ever gets choked where it's like, because we're going to be probably doing like these fuzzy search algorithms, which tend to use GPUs. Fuzzy search algorithms sometimes will choke ChatGPT, and we'll want to run that in our own environment. So this is the newly released court papers from the Maxwell case concerning Jeffrey Epstein. This is one of the things that I always type in the first time I'm bringing in a new document to analyze. I always ask ChatGPT to read and grok this document first before we get started. That tells ChatGPT to spend some time kind of indexing it, getting a sense of what is in the thing that we're working with, and demonstrate understanding of that knowledge by kind of giving us a kind of a table of contents or summary of what it is that we're working with. So it's going to do that. While that is going on, I'm going to upload the Epstein document to my dev server in case we need it there. So this is going to take just a second. Going to upload that to my server. All right, it's working. Okay, so it's got a response here. The document is a set of court papers from the Maxwell case. Includes legals. Okay, so let's just start out with can you give me a good table of contents or summary of what's contained here so we can begin to digest it. This is kind of one of the things that I wanted to do. The other thing I was going to try to do is come up with a list of names, but I think this is going to be pretty beneficial before we get to that step, is to have it kind of what you'll probably end up seeing it doing is going to read it in sections, and it's going to summarize each section as it goes through it. It's probably going to look for a table of contents up front and not find it. Okay, it's saying it's having problems doing it. So let's go through the document in digestible sections and give me a gist of what each section you digest is about. So you notice, I mean, this may be elementary for a lot of you, but some of you, it may be educational. It's important to kind of talk to ChatGPT as if it were a human. I see a lot of folks that I try to help with this, and they'll like just they'll type stuff in as if it's a Google search query, which is not going to yield you the best results. Okay, it looks like our upload finished, so we can kill that. Got it. Okay. There might be long periods of silence here because we are going to be waiting on ChatGPT and things to execute. So buckle in. There will be an edited version, most likely, when we're done, if we find anything good here. And if you're watching, is anybody watching us in the chat? Are we on StreamYard too?
Yeah, we're on your Twitter and all that.
So I'll keep my notifications open. If anybody wants to like ask questions or give us some things to try to find out, I'll keep my notifications on.
What are you looking to get from it?
I was kind of, well, one of the things that I thought would be interesting to do is just get an exhaustive list of names of people that are mentioned. Cause I've seen partial lists and then like, were they accused of anything or not? That's what most of the discourse seems to be on social media, but like an exhaustive list of people that are mentioned would be interesting to me.
Yep.
That was the basis for one of the most interesting exposés I've seen done on Epstein. Was somebody got a hold of like the black book and then just called everybody that was in it and said, "Hey, did you know you're in this black book? What are your thoughts on it?"
Yeah, we should be doing that.
just a weekly show where we just go down the list, call them live on the air. All right. So it's thinking. It's still reading and thinking. Does it have like a down? No, it doesn't. Sometimes whenever it does this, you can hit the little down arrow and see the code that it's writing.
Yeah, since they integrated all those tools, sometimes like it'll show you, sometimes it won't. I don't know.
And probably going to see quite a bit of that. All right, so
Have you ever done this large of a doc?
never been this large, no.
Even some of those cases you were doing? Not.
Well, most of that was a large number of documents, but it wasn't the documents themselves were not very large.
Uh-huh.
Most of them were a couple of pages. I might try running 2 instances here and have one start generating code for me. Well, this one was thinking. Sometimes that works and sometimes ChatGPT doesn't like that. Let's see. Do I have a thing that could help us here that I've already written? Maybe. Yeah, so what I could probably do, try to work in parallel here. I could probably say, write me a Python script that will take a very large PDF and extract the text from it into a text file. Should we do it in a text file or into a SQLite database? Probably should do a SQL database. Yeah. Into SQLite database. The architecture should be, let's just go with 1 record per page, or 1 page, one record is 1 page, and the metadata for that page will be the fields. Okay, so let's see what works on that. All right, so while it's doing this, let's say this is the Epstein. Just copy my old previous. Yeah, it may not like that because it's already got one going. No, it's doing it. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I don't like that. Let's see. This could be a much larger project. This could quickly spiral out. So let's figure out a way to triage this. Let's look at the document real quick. So it's got different sections that just say exhibits. So let's ask it to do something different here.
Yeah, chunk it up.
Let's treat every page divider that says exhibit number, where number is a number of which exhibit it is, as a chapter, and then attempt to generate a table of contents for the entire document that way. Let's just first start with this format, exhibit number equals, and then page number. Once we've done that, we'll revisit adding more data to that. All right, let's see if that does something. Should be much more easy because it's got to write a little, it'll probably write a little script to parse the words. No, I'm still going to try doing it with its internal PDF mechanism. Actually, I got a better idea for this than that. Let's try this. Let's write me a quick we'll convert a very large PDF to markdown text. This will probably make it much more manageable.
I gotta go. I'm gonna get Jacob in here.
Okay.
I have to go during one of the most fun things we're doing.
All right. So reason why I'm going with Markdown is it's a format that's native to ChatGPT. Anytime you copy something out of ChatGPT, it gives it to you in Markdown format, but it's going to have to load up less libraries on the back end to parse the documents if it's a Markdown file versus a PDF, is my guess. And as you can tell it's already been OCR'd. So that doesn't, even though these are scans, the text is already there. So we don't have to worry about it being in a non-readable, like even this logo has been OCR'd. So we don't have to worry about it being in a non-readable format. So let's try to run this script. Is there anything that needs to be changed? CSO Hill. Yep, just there.
I'm probably gonna have him just monitor the YouTube in there. When you're done, he can come in here.
Okay.
So he doesn't have to sit in there and let it air out a little bit. I don't know.
That's fine. Let's see. So we'll just, actually, we need to change the name to this. What did I miss? Oh, why is it doing this? Weird. Everything is indented weirdly. This is all the unsexy stuff that you see that you have to do whenever you're playing with large data. Hey, kid. All right, let's see if this is... Okay. Yep. So they definitely made an error. So it should fix that. So let me try to do this real quick. And if that doesn't work, well, if that doesn't immediately work or get started, we're going to check on our other processes here, because I'm sure they are done by now. Jacob, have you done any reading on this, the news concerning this document?
No, I've actually stayed in the dark on the entire thing.
All right, looks like it's doing it there. So that's going to run for a while. Probably should have put it in verbose mode, but I did not.
Darn.
There was an error. Yeah, this is exactly why we're writing the script, is because this thing keeps erroring out. So let's see, what do we have? Do we have a markdown file? So this markdown file is probably going to be, I mean, it looks a little whack as text, but if you loaded it into a markdown reader, it would look pretty close to the document. But more importantly, it's going to be very easily read by ChatGPT, and this just keeps erroring out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our initial prompt. Oh, I've got to download this file. That's going to be important. So let's do that real quick. I don't care if it could be, oh, it's puking on the name. Hang on a second. So many things going wrong at once. I gotta wait for the port to get freed up. Okay, kill this one off. So far, this has been a huge ChatGPT fail, as I kind of expected, to be quite frank. I expected it to choke on the first version. I expected it to perhaps not even allow me to upload it because it is a very large file. All right, let's see if it'll allow me to download it as a text file without puking. There we go. So let's try. We're going to restart it with our prompt that we used before. Start it with our markdown file. I've converted it from a PDF to a markdown formatted file. You can see that, assuming I got the whole thing, I didn't really actually check. Did it do the whole document? Yeah, that looks big enough. Unable to extract text from Epstein.txt. Well, let's see what happens. This is the other thing that I thought might be happening. Is it might be, and there may be nothing we can do about this. It might be because of the content of the thing, because it concerns some very sensitive topics. We might be getting safetied out of this thing. So that is the right size, 1.9 megabytes. So let's try uploading it one more time. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work. Unable to extract text from Epstein.txt. It may be because it's too much text. So, okay, so it's too big of a text file to upload and analyze in ChatGPT at 1.9 megs. Can you give me a Python script that will look for instances of the phrase exhibit where it's a number like exhibit 3 or exhibit 9, whatever, and break it up into additional text files. This is going to probably take a few tries. So what I'm going to do is
We should just have a series called GBT4 ready.
Yeah. I fully expected this to be like a 50% chance of failure before I started this stream. But there's some things that we could probably try to do on the show that would be much higher chance of success. That would be interesting. I just felt like this would be cool to discover together with the audience. Speaking of which, let's see if there's anybody that's said anything. No?
One person has said, "Need kinetic sand, please."
Well, you could just play Subway Surfer in there if you want. Let's see. All right. This I am expecting. So it's so this is our script that will break it up. And that's our file name. So we're going to stick that right over here. Oop. And this is going to give us an error almost certainly because there's no way it did it that quick. Oh, what do you know? What do you know? So it says that there are 99 exhibits. So let's just do a quick look over here. It says there are, well, oh, that's because it's capitalized. Uh-huh. Yep, it did mess some things up. So we've got to refine it just a little bit. Let's look at see what text surrounds. All right. So we're going to give it some guidance here. So there are a bunch of false positives. We're looking for is basically the only thing on the page. Let me see, make sure that that's right. So we know exhibit 1 is probably going to be correct. So not even exhibit 1. Let's see. Is it getting the header? No. All right, let's see if it's able to figure this out. It may ask us some questions. Working with data. Always fun. So, cute little shortcut is anytime you're trying to copy and paste text that's in these little black boxes that ChatGPT makes, it's Control Shift semicolon. Will save you lots of time.
But why?
Why is it that?
Yeah, but why?
Why would it be anything?
If only it could be something simple.
What would you prefer it to be?
Control C, Control V.
Control C, Control V is your system's control copy paste, and then the other copy paste is this one that gets the whole response. Control Shift semicolon gets just the last code break that it gives you. So it did not do anything on this one. What did we do wrong? This one is too prohibitive. And got nothing. So let's take a look here at the Epstein Markdown document and see if we can't. Let's see. So control is this is looking for exhibit. Yeah, none of those are right. See, we've already passed it, I think. So the first one should be on. The first exhibit is exhibit 4, and it's on page 2. So let's go all the way back up to the top. The last thing that says before that is counsel of record. Page 1. So it does have the headers in there. Got it. So all we've got to do is look for uppercase exhibit and then the number. Okay. I more closely re-examined document. What we're looking for is all upper. We're just still generating the table of contents for this thing, people. I'm sorry this is not the most riveting. If you tuned in, expected some clickbait. Is all uppercase, as in it tends to be in line with the header for the page as well. So there may not be a leading space between and what comes before it. But every scanned page will have exhibit in upper all caps. So this will rewrite our regex and we'll give that a try. All right. So if this doesn't do it, there we go. That's a more reasonable number. Okay. So let us hopefully 10 meg. So that the biggest one looks like it's 10 megabytes. Let's start by feeding these back into vanilla ChatGPT because I'd prefer not to do all this at the command prompt. So what I'm going to do is download each one of the exhibits from my dev server here, and we'll analyze them one at a time. Actually, I want to do one thing real quick. No, I don't. It's going to take long. God dang it. I was going to try to normalize the file names in Linux, but that's going to be a pain in the butt. Try to upload each of the exhibits one by one and edit them. We'll grok them that way. Come on. There we go. Bear with me here. Don't have a batch download function on my little janky web server I made. Bored to tears in there yet, Jacob?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Let's just start with the first one. Oh. Unable to extract text. Now this is... All right. Let's try one more thing, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to say we're getting safetied out here. Actually, let's try... Maximum is 10. Okay. This is the first 8 exhibits from the recently released Epstein documents. Read and grok them. Actually, let's just say I've got another, let's see, 9, 10, 3 more to go. Wait until I upload them, and then let's analyze them together. All right. I think I know what may be happening here, but we're about to find out. So 9, 10, 11. How big is 11? It's a megabyte. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to get around this. It looks like there's like maybe like a 200 kilobyte limit on file size. Is that? No? Maybe. So nothing else is bigger than 170. Okay. All right. One more script. So I need to generate a script that will look at the file size of each of the text files in a folder, and if it's over 170 KB, we'll break it up into multiple files, appending a okay. So if this works, we will have almost be ready to start this whole thing. This is why I want to do it as a live stream rather than try to actually record something planned out, because there's so many things that can go wrong here. I don't even know. It's hard to know what to plan for. All right. All right, let's try downloading these split up files. If this doesn't work, we're going to call it a day, but this, I think, will at least allow us to get started. will say the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Mostly because it's getting towards the end of the day and I want to go home at some point. So 10 was fine, and then 11 was broken up into several pieces. Breaking news. Looks like the Bitcoin ETF applicants all have cleared their regulatory hurdle.
What does that mean?
It means good times are here today. Let's see. They're on the path to SEC sign. Oh, that was just an announcement from one of the ETF guys. It was in all caps, though, so I thought it was important, but it's really not that important. Okay. All right. Let's try this again. We need to upload 9A and B. Where's 10? 10. And then all the 11s. Interesting. I think we're getting safetied. I don't think it's a file size thing. Okay, so here's what I think is happening because I'll tell you why I think it's happening before we close this out, because I think we have hit a permanent roadblock that's not going to be worth trying to fight against. It would just make it too difficult to use this particular tool. And this is a great argument for open source, decentralized AI. So we've got all these 169 to 171 kilobyte files that we were able to load up when we broke up the PDF into multiple tiny pieces. It was able to deal with that, but only, and they've cycled off the screen, but only a few of these broken up 171 kilobyte chunks were showing up with that error that says the file size is 0, which means it's probably finding specific objectionable words within the content and saying that this violates terms of service and we can't have this on the can't have this process through our LLM. So it turns out the whole thing that we were going to be trying to do today, which is loading up the Epstein documents into ChatGPT to parse through, is not going to be possible because they are finding the contents too objectionable to look at, which sucks. So we spent, I don't know, a good, what has it been, 30 minutes to find out that Sam Altman thinks that we don't need to play in these waters. What's going on?
God damn that Sam Altman.
Yes, as Mark Shutt likes to say. I don't know if I trust that guy. But no, but seriously, this is a little disappointing. But for anybody, the one or two of you that decided to hang out while we watched text go by on a black screen, I hope you learned a couple of things, maybe a couple of techniques, but certainly some of my tricks that I use to get large files up for data analysis are in here. I just don't see much use in analyzing half of the Epstein document, specifically the parts without the names in it. So Sorry if if you're disappointed. I know I am. We'll try this again some other time if you think this is at all fun or interesting, and we'll try it on something else that maybe doesn't have quite so much objectionable material inside of it.
The person who said that they needed some kinetic sand just put in the chat L. Yeah.
This is definitely an L. Definitely an L. Sorry, buddy. But yeah, back to your regularly scheduled programming, and I'll see you the next time we do something like this. We'll be on back with Mark Shutt next week. He will be doing Web3 Ready. We've got Frank on, what is it, Wednesday? With Money in the Bank with Frank, and of course Roundtable next Friday. And who knows, maybe some other stuff too. But that's our regularly scheduled programming. Hope you join us for that. We'll see you in one of those appointments. Hey, thanks for watching The Merge. We've got a ton more stuff for you to watch on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, everywhere. Check us out.